Coming to you live from me being insane and kids yelling back and forth and trying to find creative new ways to lose points when they're down to one and I'm ignoring them until their Simpson sheet's done. Oh wait, that's you. So as far as this week goes, this class we are reading on Friday. We are not doing trivia game. Of my classes, I had 3 of them who are doing trivia game and 3 of them that are not doing trivia game. Is one of them your first period? For this class, we had 13 kids of our 19 kids. And we were aiming for 16 out of 19, and we did not get to that one. So, and that was even with me removing kids who were absent and kids who didn't try and stuff like that. That was like kids who legit gave it an effort, and we didn't get there, unfortunately. But we can still, we do have another attempt coming up this, what do you call this one? Monday? Monday, we have our next quiz, which you guys will have the option of. My other classes who have achieved the trivia game, if you would like to do trivia game as a reward, we can. Or you can do the buttons, which we will talk about also as we get closer to
What if I try to get a button?
But again, as we get into it, this is as we sort of have you make your own choices from there. Hi, TJ.
So, if there was 19 people in this class, how many C's would you have to get for it to work?
I just told you, 16.
16.
There's 19 people?
Yes.
I think so.
I thought
Double check
21 was 16.
Yeah,
1, 2,
21
3,
was
4,
16,
5,
so
6,
19
7,
would be
14.
8, 9,
15
10,
probably.
11, 12.
No, that's not
Yeah,
it.
because
15,
3 minus
16,
3 and then
17,
3 minus
18,
another 3.
So Adriano, if it's
Okay,
not a
I
good
might
question, I
have
charge you a
counted
point and that takes you to 0.
Oh, wait, what?
So if it's not a good question, I charge you a point and that takes you to 0. So I'm just letting you know. Make sure you think it's a really good question that I'm not going to be grumpy about.
Mr. Brovicast, your arm looks really tan.
If I turn around, like,
Mhm.
at all, like, I'm not gonna talk or anything, just turn around to recut my mic, and then go back to work, like, get charged.
It depends if I notice you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, again, no matter how you look at it, we're at 12 of 19, which is nowhere near 75% on that one.
13.
I apologize. 13 out of 19. Again, 13 out of 19 is still not there. And we have 21 kids in this class, if that helps.
Yeah, I counted. Wait.
Yeah.
I counted 20.
Yes, because Carlos is part of this
Oh,
class
yes,
also.
Carlos wasn't here.
What did Carlos get?
And then we finish our I Learn testing tomorrow. And then as far as book thing goes, moving forward with this week, we don't have a whole lot of time left, and here's where I'm trying to find the best balance with you guys to help you out as far as what we have time to do. Our next quiz is going to be through the end of chapter 8, and that is going to be Monday of next week. And then my goal is that we're going to hopefully get through chapter 5 today, tomorrow, and then chapter 6, and then 7 by the end of the week. At some point it'll be the reading on your own, and I believe the agreement we came up with was for the final test, which is in a week and a half. If you get a C on that one, then you get to join us for the movie after school. And so we'll have that one coming up too. But part of it is you do kind of have to do the reading to get there to try to help you out. TJ?
You should, like, if you don't get a C on the test, you should make them, like, be able to spend B points for, like, 10.
Yeah,
we
but
can
some
take
people
into consideration.
Oh, no, not 10. That's too much. 10's too much. 10's too much.
Oh, that's way too low. I was going to go higher than that.
Wow.
We'll
Like
see.
20. Then
So
I'd
again,
get
schedule up
14.
there to help you out, and then we get to go back to normal-ish schedule after that. Then thing from there. So I made this plan before seeing how long today's I Learn went, because I was not sure, but apparently today's I Learn went really long, and I'm not sure if tomorrow's I Learn is going to go really long, so
Why was it 50 in the...
I have no idea. This is the first year we've done this I Learn test, so I know nothing about it. Until after we take it, that's when I get to
Mr.
find
Brown,
out.
yeah.
So we're gonna have shorter island, and then they made it longer.
Mr. Brogan,
So you have,
So they made us do more island.
because he got rid
Made it
of
longer.
NWEA. And so
Oh,
the
yeah.
idea is it takes over the NWEA
I
rules.
love
Yeah.
Again, I don't disagree.
And then Miss...
Just like young Micah, who's going to learn that I keep ignoring her the more she keeps yelling at me because sometimes learning is pain. Oh, Micah, did you have a question? What's up?
No, I have something to tell you. It was, in the middle, for some reason of, like, our I Learn testing thing, it, like, kicked all of us out of our, like, tests.
Didn't for my kids. It's just been a
I
personal
bet
thing.
it was because of Miss Hartzell.
Yeah, you blame her.
I freaking love Miss Hartzell. She's the best.
That's good. Saying that because you're on camera.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not even lying. I told you Miss
So, with chapter 4, there was one thing I wanted to get with before I read chapter 5 with you, which was the stabby killy scene. On this one,
Rip. Oh.
where you have the Socias who show up to confront the greasers, what is it that Johnny has with him?
Oh shoot.
Switchblade.
Which is like a pop bottle, but different. You should not try to drink from this. It probably won't go real well. But
It won't. Unless it's
there's
fake
his
with
knife.
you.
Now, the issue here is, yeah, that's not the issue. It is fake. Good job, Maya. That's why you watched the video yesterday.
Why'd you do that?
And-
That's tripping me out.
Right. The issue in the story is that who is it that Johnny stabs?
Bob.
In the book, he is not actually being next to, like, Bob is not the one doing the actual drowning
Yeah,
and
it's like one
attacking.
of the other Minch
It's one of
kids.
the other ones, Minions, I like. The guy named Dave is the one doing it. Imagine TJ is attacking Vibhuti, and I want to save Vibhuti. How do I save Vibhuti?
Kill your
Go
person.
for him.
I go over and stab
Go for
TJ.
Yay.
That's not what Johnny does. Johnny goes, Vibhuti, I'm going to save you. Stab, 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 stab. Do you feel saved? Stab, stab. And goes over and stabs this person as opposed to this person. Turns out there's a reason why
Because
he
he was
chooses.
the
intimidate them.
leader of them, and without them, then they would get scared.
Nah, that's what a lawyer argues, but
To
not his
intimidate
actual
them.
reason.
What's the rings?
What about the rings?
That's who
Probably
beat
shouldn't
up.
point with a knife.
That's
What
who-
about the rings?
That's the person who beat up.
That's the person who.
That's the person who beat him up
Also,
so
he
badly.
just got
Look.
a revenge.
Ah, so now that he's going, aw, now you get to move over a seat. See, now I had to always wait till I had to catch you. See, the whole you being next to TJ thing only lasted so long. Uh-oh, that's another kid. Oh, hang on. So that's where our, sorry, we had to take a time out for a kid who decided they wanted to go to Struggle Town. Kids nowadays. So the issue is it goes from being self-defense, so it's now that he goes after the person who attacked him, what does it become instead?
Revenge.
And so now the issue is this is no longer a self-defense case, this is a revenge
I
case.
mean, technically.
Now, if you have a lawyer, that's where the lawyer would come in and do the arguing. And the lawyer could say, no, he was trying to get to his friend, and that's why. That's where the
He
lawyer
stepped in
comes in.
front when he was charging for that
But
one.
as far as
Why
Johnny's
is his
concerned,
belly out?
that's why he did the
It's
stabbing
called
from
the
there.
layer alone.
Also, in story, when Johnny's there and Ponyboy wakes up, Ponyboy has not broken the law at this point. Ponyboy is completely innocent. When he wakes up, completely innocent. The problem comes in as soon as he wakes up, it's what Johnny says to him. Remember what Johnny says?
I killed someone.
Yeah. He goes, I killed him with this knife. He's dead because of me. That's about as much of an admitting of a crime as you can get to. So as soon as Johnny admits to stabbing Bob, now he has a thing he has to do, which is
Tell the police.
Snitch.
exactly. If he doesn't snitch, as far as the police and law is concerned, he is just as guilty. So, does he snitch? No, he's a friend. So he gets up and runs away with him. As far as the law is concerned, as soon as he runs away with him, he is just as guilty. He will get in just as much trouble as the person who did it. If you know of a crime and you do not turn it in, you are considered just as guilty. Now, connecting it to you guys, I don't think you're going to be connected to a murder thing, but let's say you're out with friends one night and one of your friends pulls out like a can of spray paint and is walking by a car and spray paints a car and you're there with them. If you don't immediately turn them in and you are caught later, you are considered just as guilty. It's one of those things as far as the law is concerned. If you are with a kid who breaks the law and you do not turn them in and you stay with them, you are also guilty. So keep that in mind for those of you who may or may not make poor choices, being as that we may have 5 or 12 in here.
So technically, shouldn't Dally be in trouble too?
Oh, definitely, because he gives them stuff afterwards. Yeah, he's even more in trouble because he did the assisting afterwards, which is considered even a worse thing. Now, given Ponyboy runs away with him, which isn't good, but yes. Because then Dally gives him money and a gun. Yeah, they really frown on the aiding and abetting thing. But there's a chance Dally doesn't care. Small chance.
Small
What if
chance
you- what
that
if they didn't
Dallas
know that they
Winston
killed
doesn't
somebody?
give a crap.
Well, so that's where you get into your argument, but that's where, again, if you have Micah as your lawyer, then you can try to have that
You're
fight.
safe.
But as far as the
Trust me.
law is concerned, that's how it goes. When they run away,
See it.
where do they go to?
Train. New York.
Freight train.
Well, it,
Farm.
oh no.
Massachusetts.
No.
Massachusetts.
New
Hang on.
York.
I am now understanding why this class is not doing a trivia game
Well,
coming
guess
up
what?
on
I
Friday.
got a good grade on the test, so
Bacon, egg, and cheese.
a church.
Yes, they ran away to Windricksville to go to a church.
So was it Massachusetts?
Why was it talking about New York City then?
Because they're talking about where Dally used to live, and Dally got in trouble in New York City all the time.
Oh, God.
They run away on a train to a neighboring town to go hide so the popos don't come after
And
them.
then afterwards, then Dallas, he said that he
Yes.
was gonna go get them.
Hello, Ear.
Can I go to the bathroom without having to write, do
Sure, it'll just charge you more points.
Do I have to do another one?
Are you already doing 100?
Yeah.
Yes, as long as you're doing 100. Did you need to go? Go for it. All right. Then I will start reading with you guys to help you out. We're on page 68.
Yes, we are.
This is where they're going to wake up and they're in the church. They had just run away the day before. Chapter 5. What?
He just threw something at me. No, I didn't.
Yes,
he
you
did.
did.
She did. Did you see me too?
I saw it come in.
It's an eraser.
Well, that's why we get to have a camera over there. The choices we make, right?
The choices we make right now determine what happens.
There
right
you
now.
go. Camera. Thanks.
Yeah, you can.
Don't worry. We have lunch again tomorrow. Chapter 5. I woke up late in the afternoon. For a second, I didn't know where I was. I mean, you know how it is. When you wake up in a strange place and wonder where in the world you are until memory comes rushing over you like a wave. I have convinced myself that I had dreamed everything that had happened the night before. I'm really home in bed, I thought. It's late, and both Derry and Soda Pop are up. Derry's cooking breakfast, and in a minute, he and Soda will come in and drag me out of bed and wrestle me down and tickle. What is this about Japanese? And tickle me until I finish, and that's how, sorry, until I think I'll die if they don't stop. It's me and Soda's turn to do the dishes after we eat, and then we'll go outside and play football. Johnny and Two-Bit and I will get Derry on our side, since Johnny and I are so small, and Derry's the best player. And it'll go like the usual weekend morning. I tried telling myself that while I lay on the cold rock floor, wrapped up in Dally's jacket, and listening to the wind rushing through the trees' dry leaves outside. Finally, I quit pretending and pushed myself up. I was stiff and sore from sleeping on that hard floor, but I'd never slept so soundly. I was still groggy. I pushed up Johnny's jeans jacket, which had somehow gotten thrown across me, and blinked, scratching my head. It was awful quiet, with just the sound of rushing wind in the trees. Suddenly, I realized that Johnny wasn't there. "Johnny!" I called loudly, and the old wooden church echoed me. "Honey! Honey! Honey! Honey!" I looked around wildly, almost panic-stricken, but then caught sight of some crooked lettering written in the dust of the floor. Went to get supplies. Be back soon, J.C. Quick pause. Do you guys know who J.C. is?
Johnny
last
Close.
name.
Close, Johnny Cade.
Okay.
Johnny Cade, C-A-D-E.
Oh.
The reason I ask is last year when I was reading this, I had a kid, because they're in a church, was convinced that the JC stood for Jesus Christ. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't think Jesus came back just to write in the dust. And he was like, he did. I'm like, that's not. I'm just making sure you're not that special. Apparently you guys are not, so I'm proud of you. I sighed and went to the pump to get a drink. The water from it was like liquid ice, and it tasted funny, but it was water. I splashed some on my face, and that woke me up pretty quick. I wiped my face off on Johnny's jacket and sat down on the back steps. The hill the church was on dropped off suddenly about 20 feet from the back door. You could see for miles and miles. It was like sitting on the top of the world. When you haven't got anything to do, you remember things in spite of yourself. I can remember every detail of the whole night, but it had the unreal quality of a dream. It seemed much longer than 24 hours since Johnny and I had met Dally at the corner of Pickett and Sutton. Maybe it was. Maybe Johnny had been gone a whole week and I just slept. Maybe he'd already been worked over by the fuzz and was waiting to get the electric chair since he wouldn't tell where I was. Maybe Dally had been killed in a car wreck or something, and no one would ever know where I was, and I'd just die up here alone and turn into a skeleton like Mrs. McGillicuddy. My overactive imagination.
Wait, did you actually just say Miss? Oh, I thought that was in the book.
No, that's the throwback to Camp Tecumseh.
Yeah, Mr. Jackson's story.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
My overactive imagination was running away with me again. Sweat ran down my face and back, and I was trembling. My head swam, and I leaned back and closed my eyes. I guess it was partly delayed shock. Finally, my stomach calmed down. I relaxed a little, hoping that Johnny would remember cigarettes. I was scared, sitting there by myself. I heard someone coming up through the dead leaves toward the back of the church, and I ducked inside the door. Then I heard a whistle, long and low, ending in a sudden high note. I knew that West whistle well enough. It was used by us and the Shepherd gang for Who's There. I returned it carefully and darted out the door so fast I fell off the steps and sprawled flat under Johnny's nose. I propped myself up on my elbows and grinned up at him. Hey, Johnny, fancy meeting you here. He looked down at me over the package. I swear, pony boy, you're getting to act more like Two-Bit every day. I tried unsuccessfully to cock an eyebrow. Who's acting? I rolled over and sprang up, happy that someone was there. What'd you get? Come on inside. Dally told us to stay inside. We went in. Johnny dusted off the table with his jacket, started taking things out of the sack and lining them up neatly. A week's supply of bologna, 2 loaves of bread, a box of matches, Johnny went on. I got tired of watching him do it all, so I started digging into the sack myself. Whee! I sat down on a dusty chair and stared. A paperback copy of Gone with the Wind? How'd you know I always wanted one? It's a book that was turned into a huge movie way back in the day, but Gone with the Wind. Johnny reddened. I remembered you saying something about it once, and me and you went to see that movie, remember? I thought you could maybe read it out loud, help kill time or something. Gee, thanks. I put the book down reluctantly. I wanted to start it right then. Peroxide, a deck of cards. Suddenly I realized something. Johnny, wait, you ain't thinking of... Johnny sat down, pulled out his knife, plunged it straight into my leg. I started screaming right there. Sorry, I notice sometimes that kids don't have their books out, so I like to just make up random things to see which kids are paying attention. He did not plunge the knife into his leg. Johnny sat down and pulled out his knife. We're going to cut our hair, and you're going to bleach yours. He looked at the ground carefully. They're going to have our descriptions in the paper. We can't fit them. Oh, no! My hand flew to my hair. No, Johnny, not my hair. When he's talking about that, hydrogen peroxide, if you guys ever fall off your bike, or your one wheel, it's this little brown bottle where you pour it on and it goes all bubble. So you can actually use this in your hair. If you put it in your hair and you go sit out in the sun and sun hits it, it makes your hair lighter. And so it's not quite like bleaching it, but it can definitely change your hair color. So the idea where you'll go from that dark hair to this lighter hair. So since, if you're a kid that can go out to the pool in the summertime where you get like the chlorine in your hair and your hair turns lighter, this will work on you. If that does not work on you, then this would not either. But it's like a cheap, easy way of changing your hair color. So because they're going to be in the papers, because of this whole murder thing, this is his way of trying to find a way to disguise themselves. So they're going to bleach their hair, and well, one of them is going to bleach their hair, we're going to find out, and then they're going to go ahead and cut their hair. But we'll stop there. I'll pick up and read more with you guys tomorrow.